Kadosh, Boker Or, Bekiim Halacha 4, day 43, page 109, Siman Kaf Hey, Halacha, Pei, Hey, Pe He. Yeah, Pe. Pe He is Pe. Yeah. Misha Shachach. Some people, they always forget things. V'itchil Tefillah Musaf im atfilin sheberosho v'zro. So they forgot. Yeah, they forgot. Imagine, Rosh Hodesh. And they come and they start. Yeah, so what happens? Right? So he says, Oil yesh deot shel vishat tefillin musaf udvar chamur biyoter. Since some people say mamash is a davar meod chamur. Yeah, you're not allowed to. So what happens? In ken yesh sor gadol basartan, you have to take it off, and it's not a sec. So mamash in the middle of Amidah, you're going to take it off. He says take it off. But if you finish the entire thing, even for sure that he for sure did not do it, for sure you say chovah. Meaning, imagine you come, Rabbi, I forgot the tefillin on. Okay, so you say chovah. I'm not going to tell you pray musaf again. But if you're in the middle of the Amidah, you take it off in the middle of the Amidah. So let's look at the footnote 110. The Mishabra ruled that if someone begins the Amidah Musaf and he realizes that he's still wearing the tefillin, he should not take them off. After all, he explained the practice of taking off the tefillin is a custom, not a halachic obligation. So therefore, Bad al-Chabra, however, demonstrated that the Kabbalah is considered a grave offense, and therefore, mamash, you have to take them off. Yeah, or at least move the tefillin from their place. That's what Mordechai was saying. At least that. But technically, you would take them off even. He concluded it needs more research. Right? The Rishon LeZion discussed this issue and pointed out that the Bet Yosef stated that it is improper to wear tefillin right while saying the Kiddushav Keter. According to this, right, he comes and he says if someone began the silent and realized that he's still having tefillin, so he says, so it should not be necessary to interrupt, to take them off. This could be compared to somebody that felt the talit fell off while he's saying the Amidah. Shulchan Aruch says, don't pick it up. Right? Why? It's an interruption. אתה באמצע עמידה, נפל לך טלית.
והכיפה או הטלית אתה לא תרים?
הכיפה כן, בגלל הכיפה אסור לך להגיד שם שמיים with הראש מגולה. But the טלית, no, you don't do nothing. שולחן ערוך צדיק זין, הלכה ד', לא, אבל אסור לך, אתה באמצע עמידה. So he says, you're not allowed to. Moreover, the Taz ruled that if someone has a regular practice of keeping the tefillin on while saying מוסף ועמידה וראש חודש, יש לו מה לסמוך, ואתה לא יכול למחות בו. So the Rishon LeZion then quoted the Bach that Teretz Zeknim Shom Lulia. They all say according to the Zohar, if you're wearing the tefillin, it's mamash, it's a chayav mita, right? So he says it's not mamash in the Zohar Kadosh, but they compared it to somebody that's putting on Chol HaMoed, and therefore that's why he does say it. So therefore he says that mamash you should it should be taken off. You understand? It's not the same thing. The Chabra wanted a compromise. He said instead of taking them off, just move them from the place. Yeah, that's the Chabra. Basically, Halacha Pei Vav Yachid Shitpalel Shachri B'Rosh Chodesh V'Shachach Lomar Ya'aleh V'Yavo. Imagine you forgot Ya'aleh V'Yavo. V'Nizkar Le'Yachar Shitpalel Musaf. Now you only remembered after you did Musaf. Shadinu shetzedek zol Yitpalel Shachrit. So you have to do Shachrit again, and you have to mention Rosh Chodesh. Nachon she'aniach tefillin b'bracha lifnei she'yachzor Yitpalel Shachrit. Put on the tefillin again with the bracha before you do the Shachrit again. If you only remember during the time mincha, you have to do mincha twice, and the second one is going to be Tashomin, and you have to say both of them Ya'aleh V'Yavo. But don't put on the tefillin again. Let's see 111. Yeah, you understand what happened?
But you already did Musaf.
111. When someone says the Amidah for Shachrit B'diuk, yeah, he says for Shachrit on Rosh Chodesh, and he forgets to add the Alev Yavo, he says the Amidah again. The Rishon LeZion comes and he brings down the Gemara and the Shulchan Aruch that the ideal manner of serving Hashem is to wear tefillin while saying Shema Amidah Shachrit. He added the Magen Avraham based on this that it's important to wear tefillin while saying Shachrit than it is to pray together with the tzibur. According to this, when someone needs to repeat the Amidah, that means if you have a choice, tefillin, right, or tzibur, you go with the tefillin. I could pray without tefillin in the tzibur, or I could pray without the tzibur but with tefillin. One more time, right? You come here. There's nobody that can give you tefillin. You can either pray with us by yourself, right, but meaning with the tzibur, but you don't have tefillin, or you go home and you're going to pray by yourself, but you have tefillin. It's better the tefillin by yourself in the home.
Wow.
Because you need the tefillin during Shachrit. That's what the Magen Avraham says. We brought down a machloket in this section. Still, there's an inyan to have for Shachrit, for the Kriyat Shema and Amidah, there's an inyan to have tefillin. That's the Magen Avraham. Right? So he says here, obviously if you could borrow, you could borrow. So then you have both. But I'm saying, but if you, let's say you cannot, for whatever reason. Right? Mamash, and they're not going to lend you, and whatever the case is. Okay, fine. According to this, when someone needs to repeat Amidah Shachrit on Rosh Chodesh because he forgot Ya'aleh V'Yavo, it should be necessary to put on tefillin. Right? Why? Because that means he didn't pray Shachrit. What is it to say Amidah again? Because Kilu he didn't say Amidah, so he has to put on the Tefillin again. So the Yishol and Sion suggested that this issue might depend upon whether or not the first Amidah is credited as a prayer altogether, all right, or not. The Tosafot brings the Rif that if someone forgot to say Ya'alev Yavo on Rosh Hodesh, it is as if that he did not say the Amidah at all. Right? That's the Rif. Kilu lo yitpalel bichlal. That's why you have to. So he says, according to Rabbi Yonah, Rabbi Yehuda, Sirion, in the Rashba, the first Amidah does count. But in most cases, you still have to repeat it to add Ya'alev Yavo. So your logic applies. He says, according to the Rif, you have to put on the Tefillin again. But according to the other ones, you don't need to. Meaning, האם זה נחשב שבאמת התפללת, או לא? אם אתה אומר שלא התפללת, אז ודאי שתשים תפילין עוד פעם. One second. For sure you have to put it on. But if you're going to tell me no, then no. Yeah? One second. The complication arises, since the person already said Musaf, so now what do? After Musaf, you're not allowed to put on the tefillin. Nevertheless, Rabbi Menachem Azriah Mifano and the Rav Chida, they both said that one might put on the tefillin in order to say mincha. So with the bracha, so it's proper to put on the tefillin again to say the shachrit. And this is the ruling of the Bet Sharim. Rav Shimon Greenfeld, however, ruled, yeah, for mincha. So this is like the mincha. This is like another tefillah. So he says it's unnecessary to put on the tefillin again in this case. He explained that although the Gemara tells you to wear tefillin during shachrit, this is not an absolute obligation, but it's only the ideal practice of doing it. And nevertheless, the Yishol Etzion Kalkuda said that it's best to put on tefillin again, following the ruling of the Bet Shadim. If this would cause a person extreme hardship, then you could rely upon the lenient opinion. But if not, you should. Meaning Rav Ovadia said lemaskana zaken yoter tov lasim tefillin od pam velitpalel shachrit. Im bracha, vaday.